Hey Kingdom, welcome to the world of Baldur's Gate 3. It's me, the Spot King, and today most complete tips list for Baldur's Gate 3. 69 tips, let's go. And first tip is for those who are not familiar with D&D ability system, because Baldur's Gate 3 is based on Dungeons & Dragons tabletop system. When you are allocating your ability points, make sure to have even numbers, because odd numbers not provide any benefits for you. So having balanced character with 13 in each attribute is not a good idea. Understand your proficiency. For example, if starting game as Warlock, you will have proficiency in Charisma saving throws. This will add +2, and then this number will be higher when you will level up, to your rolls when you're trying to succeed on saving throws. But as Warlock or as a Wizard, for example, you need to concentrate on spells. Concentration requires Constitution saving throws, and they don't have proficiency in Constitution saving throws. That's why it's really nice and important to get Fighter, for example, as your first level class. Because as Fighter in first level, you will get proficiency in all types of armor, in shields and all weapons, and at the same time you will gain proficiency in Constitution saving throws. But if you're starting as Warlock, for example, then when you level up, maybe you want to add class and pick Fighter. But now Fighter won't give you proficiency in Constitution saving throws. So it's really nice to know what multi-classes you're picking. There's a lot of valuable resources in this game, like spell slots, for example. They are very limited and you need to be smart about them. So it's very advised for you to go into your spell book and then to reaction tab. Here you can turn on reactions and also prompt ask over here. So now when you land in critical hit or even normal hit, you always will be asked, do you want to use Divine Smite? It's useful, so now you don't need to upcast Divine Smite before attacking, and basically you hitting your target, and then you will be asked, do you want to use Divine Smite? So in case your damage is not enough, you can use Divine Smite to finish your target. If your damage is enough, you just don't use Divine Smite. That's it. Same can be used for a lot of reactions and a lot of spells. Sometimes you may be wondering why you're doing damage to different characters, and your damage seems low. So here we are, 7 damage to this character and just 5 to this one. Why it is? Because they could have resistances, and you can examine enemies before attacking them. Just right click them and press examine. Now you will see who got resistances and who is not. And what resistance doing? Basically, it halves damage you taking from different damage sources. Cold resistance on Shadowheart right now, and no resistance on Astarion. So when we're doing damage to Astarion, we're doing 6 damage, and we're doing it by making 2 rolls of 1d8 dices. But when we're hitting Shadowheart, yeah, we can definitely do 6 damage again. But actually, we did 12 damage, and it halved, so in the end, we're doing only 6 damage. Always examine your enemies. Most damage comes from big weapons. That's why one of the best ways to disable strongest enemies and even bosses is to disarm them. You can do it with command spell from level 1 from clerics, basically command drop, and try to make enemies drop their weapons. That's such easy way to do it. Now when weapon is dropped, you can pick it up. This uses no action or bonus action, and enemies will be without weapons, easy targets, and won't be able to do any damage to you basically. They will be able only to attack with his hands, throw some stones, but that's not a problem and you will have easy time against them. Also, fighters who got Battle Master subclass can use disarming attack. It's battle maneuver, and again really easy to make enemies drop their weapon, so you can basically pick it up. Next tip is really important because I saw a lot of people in commentary who misses this. There's a lot of stuff like cool feats, for example Great Weapon Master, which should allow you to attack with bonus action. But for some reason a lot of players missing it. And there's a reason actually. Same applies to spell Hex. It uses bonus action and Warlock spell slot. Warlock spell slots is really limited. So when I casted Hex on my enemy, and possibly kill him, like in this situation, I will have additional action on my quick access board. It will be over here in the right side. As you can see, Great Weapon Master Lin right now on the right. So a lot of people missing how to use this bonus action. There's of course one more way how you can find it. You can just press on bonus actions and see all bonus actions available to you, so you can use it, but it's always on the bar over here. And same goes for Hex spell. Normally it uses your spell slot, but when you upcast it, just cast it from the right side over here, it will use only bonus action while you keep in concentration and won't use any spell slots. So Hex basically uses one spell slot per day if you keep in your concentration. So always look to the right side, possibly you're missing some spells that you can do. Next mistake is really big and can cost you your run even. It's a mistake when you build on your characters, and a lot of people think it's smart to use Wizard's multiclass just one level deep to learn every spell when you play in Sorcerer, for example. But to do it, you need high spellcasting attribute, because even if you play in Sorcerer who's using Charisma as main spellcasting attribute, when you learn spells as a wizard, they will use intelligence, so you need to have high intelligence too. For example, my Lae'zel right now got 8 Charisma, it got -1 penalty, 12 Wisdom, so +1, and Intelligence +0. Eldritch Blast is of course my Warlock spell, so let's cast this spell first. Then let's use Druid one, Turn Whip, that's Druid spell, and also Firebolt. It comes from my Sorcerer. So, now look at rolls. When we rolled Eldritch Blast, we was rolling 1d20 plus proficiency and -1 from Charisma. Turn Whip got +1 from Wisdom on the other hand, because it's from Druid and the Druid uses Wisdom. And Firebolt got -1 from Charisma again, because it's from Sorcerer. But if I get one level in Wizard with Firebolt, which I already know, now when I'm casting Firebolt, I can choose, do I want Charisma or Intelligence Firebolt, and it will be different attack rolls with different hit chances. Charisma will have 55% chance, Intelligence version will have 60% chance, because I get high intelligence. Next tip is really useful for your early game. When you're in a fight in turn-based mode, you will have distance that you can travel. Most of the time it's around 9 meters for big characters. Dwarves got less distance. But in early game you won't have access to a lot of bonus actions. That's why I advise you using bonus action jump in every combat to travel more distance in early game. Jumping costs bonus action and 3 meter movement speed, but you can jump really far away depending on your strength. So with just 14 strength I can jump 7 meters, and instead of 9 meter all distance I can travel right now, I can jump for 7 meters and then travel 6 more meters. You probably know that in this game you have elixirs and potions. And when it comes to elixirs, you need to drink them as your character. So you just press on it and drink. But with potions, it's another story. Potions, instead of drinking them with your bonus action, can be dropped. Yeah, you can drop them manually on the ground, but that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, you can throw them. Throwing is an action, but if your character is in danger and dying, you still need to use action to pick them up. Instead, you can throw your potion, and without any distance traveling, it will break and heal them up. This gives you the ability to go into top view, get together, just move all characters nearby, and now instead of using a lot of potions for all party, you can just drop potion on the floor and heal your party in one potion. Very useful because you can do same with haste potions and invisibility potions. So one invisibility potion, one action for one guy, means you will get invisibility without using any other bonus actions for whole party. Another cool trick with this strategy, you can pre-drop potions before battle. So if you know there will be a battle ahead of you, you can just drop some potions in front or even in the back, and when you need, you just use your movement action to go into this potion area and heal yourself. Or become invisible, or become hasted, whatever you want. And most of the time in the battles you limit it with your actions, and bonus actions of course. But not always actually, there's a way how you can use unlimited amounts of potions. So when you are in a battle, there are spells like Cloud of Daggers or other stuff that can do damage over time. So this Cloud of Daggers will damage a lot of stuff. And if I will throw potions, it will use my action. But going into inventory and then just dropping potions on the ground like this won't take you any actions or bonus actions. Cloud of Daggers will destroy these bottles, and this means you're creating basically unlimited amounts of healing on the floor. Same goes for moving objects, so if you need to move objects in a fight, you can do it basically unlimited amounts of time, just drop it to the left, to the right, as much as you wish. Very useful for some trap setup and other stuff. So if you got some grenades, you can use Cloud of Daggers nearby of your enemy, drop grenades into Cloud of Daggers, boom! Just like that, we're going to our next tip. That was already 13 tips. How much of them do you know already? Make sure to write in the comments. Watch until the end to know all tips. And then once again write in the comments how much of these tips you already know and how much of them was new to you. Because next tip will be very useful to you. When you find traders like Auntie Ethel for example, she got a lot of useful stuff like lotions and potions petal, elixir of heal giant strength, invisibility potions, all of them really valuable to you. But you can buy only 3 of those. So I bought 3 potions, and now the trick. To refresh shop you just need to level up. And not get level up, but press on level up button. So I'm pressing over here, leveling up 1 time, and while I got more levels to get up, I can talk with Auntie Ethel before it, and she will get shop refreshed with more elixirs in her store. That's very nice when you need to stack up on some healing potions and other stuff, so useful tip. And best way to do it fast, of course, is to respec your characters and just level up in front of the shop. And you can do it completely free. Just go to this camp, I mean basically to any camp, talk with wizards, and change your class. It will cost 100 gold. After you change your class, go behind him and enter to the sneak mode. Use pickpocket action and just steal your gold back. So changing your class is completely free. Same as getting hirelings. Using this strategy you will save gold, but how to get a lot of gold? Just speak with a trader and make sure you are in a barter mode. In this mode you can split traders' gold. So just get some gold and I will make different batches to showcase you. So after you made different batches, give them back to the trader. And now after entering sneak mode into pickpocket, you will see these batches in inventory. Stealing all 700 gold is really impossible if you don't have proficiency in stealing. But just 10 gold, super easy, especially for thief. It will take some time, but you will get everything you need. But there's also a lot more ways to get all gold or all items you need from trader. One of them is pouch method. But actually anything will work, for example this bucket in your camp. Idea is simple, talk with your trader. And yeah, by the way, I'm joked, bucket is not working for this method. You need something that can store items. So wooden crate. You can find first wooden crate over here when you're entering Emerald Grove, or just get some pouches. So whatever that you can store items in. Again, we're going into barter mode. We giving trader our wooden box or pouch, whatever, and donating items to him. Now in his inventory, we opening this box and sending everything to this box from his inventory. You can do it fast with pressing on one item and then pressing shift, holding shift, pressing last item and just drag and drop. So now we get box with all items. Trader trading with you only when you are loyal and you need nice relationship with him. So now with your main character or character who is initiating trades with traders, go to your camp. You need to ungroup him, just to drag and drop him, press ungroup. And with other group members, you need to enter into non-lethal mode. Go into passive, turn on non-lethal attacks, and now just kill trader. By doing this in non-lethal mode, with your weapons of course, trader will be downed. And he will lose attitude only with your characters who's in a fight. Now just loot him, take all his weapons and of course his box, run a little bit back and long rest. So we got all items from this wooden crate, from trader, in our inventory, and when we're speaking with trader with our main character, he's not looking good, but he's fine. And he's not lost any attitude with us, he completely fine. We can do it as much as we wish. Also, if you're watching before patch 6 come out, There's like secret tip on PC, you can just pick all items and just drag drop into your inventory and just take them completely free. But all other characters will lose ability to trade with this trader. So how to become loyal again? Best way to do it as level 1 character, so before doing it I recommend going to Wizards and changing your class. This will make you level 1 character, and now you're talking with your trader. He don't want to trade with you, but in barter mode you can donate some items. Items should cost around 400 gold to make maximum attitude. So we got 400 gold, let's donate items, and now we're almost at max because we was at minimum. But from 0 you will get maximum level with 400 gold barter as level 1 character, and you will get maximum attitude with maximum discount. Different traders got different discounts, but now you can not steal but just buy potions and lotions for nice discount. Also trade items for more gold. If you plan on your build and you want to have a lot of feats, then most classes will gain feats on level 4, 8 and 12, but not fighter. Fighter gaining more feats at level 6. So best multi-class character if you want feats in your class is fighter, if you want to get fighter to level 6 at least. Any other subclasses distribution will leave you only with 2 or even 1 feat and make your character weaker overall. Next tip will be for building your characters better when you're making organized party. Dexterity is one of most important attributes because it will give you more armor class and also initiative. But when you play in supports like cleric or melee fighters, actually I advise to get in low dexterity, because at the start of the fight everyone rolling initiative, and it will determine order of turns in a battle. While it seems smart to be able to act first in a battle, as melee character it's actually better to act second, because this way you force your enemies to go into contact with you first, and then you act. And as melee character it will be easier to go to your enemies and cut them to pieces, instead of just using movement to go to them and take hits. And same goes for supports like clerics. You will gain better understanding what's going on battlefield and who needs your heals. And initiative is really very important aspect of battles. It's not only determining who acts first, but also it can give you shared initiative. Right now Shadowheart and Astarion got shared initiative, so they acting together. And we're not forced to end turn as Astarion to act as Shadowheart. We can do it basically at the same time. But you can force the shared initiative. Just look at the top bar over here and see who is in between of your characters. It's Goblin Booyak. You can just press on her, that's she, and now what I need to do is to destroy this lady. After destroying her, our party combined and now we can act at the same time. It's very useful to combine some stuff like coming close to enemy with one character to activate sneak attack from rogue, from other character, and then you can get away or push enemy away. So you're basically open to a lot of combinations on the one turn before you end turn with other characters. Also, one more combat tip is to always analyze what enemies you have on battlefield and start killing easiest and lowest HP targets first, because most targets will do same damage. In this game you're rolling dice to do damage, and even max level character can do 3 damage with one spell, and level 1 character can do 10 damage with one spell. So basically dice will tell how much you will roll, and it's always better to destroy targets that is easiest to destroy first and then take down big guys. Next tip will help you get a lot of items. If you face situation when you see chest but don't have any ability to lockpick it, don't forget you can just destroy it with your normal weapon attack, but weapon should be bludgeoning. So maces, staffs and other stuff like this will work. Or just any spell attack will work too. Just destroy chests with spells and get everything inside. As easy as taking candy from a baby. Has the helm for free. For next tip, let's get back to camp. And in the camp we're talking with wizards again and talking about hirelings. Getting one more hireling for 100 gold. And while you're hireling in your party, you can cast different supportive spells, as cleric for example. I will cast freedom of movement on my character, which will protect me from being paralyzed and restrained and from difficult terrain. Dash Ward, which will give me additional life if I will fall. Warding Bond, which gives me basically protection from every type of weapon or elemental attack. And 8, of course, it will give me additional health points. I can cast it for whole party, and these spells will stay on me until long rest. Concentration spells like Shield of Faith, for example, that will give me additional armor class, while can work when you ask your hireling to stay in a camp, they will disappear. Still, getting ability to have resistance from all damage types, more health, is really nice buff. Next tip will help you get a lot of fun from this game. Instead of playing normally and just ramming through the game, going into battle after battle after battle, take some time and explore everything. Instead of going on the most obvious way into this bridge, you can go to the different side, jump from the cliff, go through the lock, enter to sneaky mode, jump through the big cave, avoid all traps, and cut down this rope. This will release this Baldur, which will go ram onto all enemies. Or maybe there's just a big boulder above enemy heads. You know what will happen when it drops on them. Next tip is simple, but a lot of people for some reason forget about this. When you're going into different dialogue checks that need to check your charisma or other stats, don't forget to press on add bonus and just use this free guidance, which is cantrip, not using any spell slots or other resource, and adding 1d4 for free. This will give you easy free wins without a fight. But also, if you're in a dialogue and you think it will be impossible to enter this dialogue without fighting, you can change your character. And that's really useful. While your main character talking with enemies, you can reposition yourself and pick best position before fight starts. It gives you high advantage in a fight. But when fight starts, there's one more cool tip. Don't forget all characters got magic pockets. And if you're in a nice position to make some actions with different items, just go into party view, tap, and get what you need. My main character got grease bottles, so I given them to Asterion now. And now as Asterion, I'm using this grease bottle and throwing it at my enemies. This uses no action or bonus action. I mean, throwing bottle of course uses action, but switching items between characters uses no resource at all. This way you can easily transfer all potions and other stuff, which is really useful technique. At the same time, it's really useful because you don't need to carry all items on different characters. You can have all potions on one character and just open this tab when you're controlling, for example, your main character, and just use items from other characters. You can do it with sieve tools, with potions, lotions, and all other stuff. When you play Necromancer, there's high urge to have bodies to make them zombies. And sometimes it's hard to find these bodies. But there's a solution with character who got high strength. You can basically pick up these bodies. They will be in your inventory, basically in a pocket. You can send them to camp, or you can store them in camp, and basically every long quest, get these bodies after your box, out of your pockets, and make them zombies. Next tip again will increase your damage in early game, but also in late game too. It will use a bonus action, but don't forget, when you got some light source like candles, you can dip your weapon with bonus action. So this uses only bonus action, it will dip all weapons in your hands. So if you got dual wielding weapons, you will dip 2 swords and will add 1d4 fire damage to your damage. That's why one of the most useful stuff in this game is candle. If you don't have candles, torch will be okay. So when you're in a turn-based mode, you already know that you can basically drop this torch on the ground without using any action or bonus action. Then basically you can dip in this torch your weapons for additional damage. And you can do it with all party members. So one torch and bonus actions gives a lot of additional damage to whole party. But you can use it not only with fire. Also other dippable stuff like poisons can be dropped on the ground. So for example, Purple Worm Toxin, which is really powerful additional 1d10 poison damage to your weapon, can be thrown on the ground. It will create poison area, and you can use this area to dip your weapons. And yeah, you can dip a bow in this too. This way you can save a lot of resources just by creating dippable surface for whole party, if your party got a lot of melee or damage fighters. And do you know who is best support in this game? It's not Cleric. Yeah, of course I'm joking a little bit. But also Barbarian can be a really nice support too. Especially Berserker Barbarian, who got Enraged Throw. This throw action uses bonus action. This means you can throw potion on your fallen ally and with bonus action pick him up. And that's actually how to use your bonus action healing word as Cleric, because you don't need to use action and you don't need to use your movement speed to pick fallen allies. Just use this stuff, and after healing a little bit of health, ally will get up on his legs. And actually any character can become this supportive class, even fighter. It will make fighter a little bit weaker offensive, but when you reach in level 4, you choose in feats and you go into magic initiate cleric or druid, and of course picking this healing word spell. By doing so, you will get ability to use bonus action to pick your allies. Sometimes it can be really nice and helpful for your party. You should know next tip, that you can upcast your spells, and even basic level 1 spells can be upcasted to higher levels. So basic healing word can be upcasted to level 6 and heal more health. Some spells becoming really powerful, for example Guiding Bolt, upcasted to level 5, can do from 8 to 48 damage, and give advantage for 2 turns. Maybe for level 5 it's overkill, but you know, upcasting to level 3 is looking pretty promising. But also a lot of spells can be upcasted, like Hold Person for example. You can upcast it and target a lot more targets in one turn, so basically 5 targets if you upcast it to level 6. And while you can upcast any spell, not every spell will gain benefit. For example, Silence won't change, no matter how much you upcast this spell. Even on level 6, it will be same Silence when you cast it with level 2 spell slot. So not always upcast your spells. But on the other hand, some spells is really good for upcasting. These spells called rituals. They will have this light blue color, and basically when you're upcasting spells like Long Strider outside of the combat, it requires no spell slots at all, because it's ritual, and rituals outside of the combat not using spell slots. So you can upcast a Long Strider and without consuming spell slot, cast it on all allies at once. Same goes for Enhanced Sleep, it's basically completely free spell, but casting a spell like Enhanced Sleep on higher levels won't give you any additional benefits. Next tip is for wizards who don't know that you can basically learn every spell in a game. You just need to get spell scrolls, go into your spell book, and press learn more spells. It will cost some gold, but then you will get a lot of spells, and even as low level wizard you can know all these spells. When you play in Honor mode, you got only one save slot, and basically only one life. For some reason I never saw anyone using this tip, but the tip I will show you now saved my first Honor mode run 3 times, and I beat the game in first attempt. And basically when you're in danger and your combat will soon end not in your favor, you're not supposed to fight. You can actually just flee from the combat. Use any action bonus action you have to just teleport away, run away, and you must run away up to 27 meters. Then you can press flee combat over here, and now you're completely safe in a camp. Combat is over and you're fine. No sneaky shenanigans. When enemies is vulnerable, they taking double damage from your attacks. But finding situations when enemies vulnerable to your attacks is really hard. Not when you got create or destroy water spell, or when you just throw in water bottles at your enemies. They will become wet, and wet enemies will take double damage from lightning. So now all you need to do is to cast any lightning spell at these vulnerable enemies and do a lot of damage low level spells. When your party members always stuck, lying on the floor, or doing some bad things, or maybe you just want to go without your party members, don't forget you can ungroup them. Drag your portrait over here and you will be ungrouped, or you can just right click on your portrait and ungroup yourself or other party members. Maybe you just want someone to stay outside to the battle and enter late. Just ungroup him, and when battle starts, you will sneak with this sneaky rogue and attack from behind or good angle. And same can be done with summons. They not always need to follow you. So just summon your favorite crab, a zombie, and there is button over here, you can toggle it and basically ungroup with your summon. Now he is on his own and you can just walk with him instead of your party and do tasks you want him to do. When you're fighting against bosses, sometimes they are really hard to deal with. But here's one trick. You can use potions of speed and just pre-drop them on the boss or use it in a battle. Yeah, it will hasten this boss. Now he can do 2 actions in 1 turn. But if you manage to throw 2 speed potions on him, second potion instead will stun him and make him lethargic. So he won't be able to use actions, bonus actions or reactions next turn. And that's really useful way to destroy some strong enemies in this game. Just drop some haste potions on them every turn and they will be stunned forever. Also, never forget that your weapon got not only normal attack, but also a lot of cool extra attacks. Always check out what weapon cool attacks is available to you, because some weapons that's looking pretty weak can have different cool attacks. Sometimes they can make enemies bleed, or even attack in a cliff formation, so you can attack multiple enemies in one strike. Also, if you're having troubles in a battle, don't fight in open areas. Try to find choke points like this, for example, and stand in the area so enemies need and will be forced to go through this choke point. This way you can position your party and even make it super hard for enemies to go through this area with different area of effect spells, like Wall of Fire, Cloud Daggers, and other spells that will basically make some areas inaccessible for your enemies, and it will be almost impossible for them to go through. When you buy hirelings, sometimes they looking ugly, and a lot of people on my stream asked how I'm making different hirelings. It's super easy, just go to this magic mirror in your camp. Every camp got this mirror, just look closely. And now you can edit appearance of your hireling, so you got this beautiful little boy. Also, there's one more way. When you buy a hireling, you can just press edit appearance here and buy it instantly with preferred appearance. Venture first, my friend. You already know that you can use hirelings as buffers, but also you can use hireling druid, and if you don't want to spend a lot of time looking for camp supplies, you can just create some good berries with druid every time you're going to the long rest, and you can use these good berries as camp supplies. Or just give these good berries to your inventory and heal when you need outside of the battle, or even in the battle with bonus action. But maybe I will blow your mind. If you follow my next tip, you will no longer need any camp supplies when you enter into Act 3. All you need to do is to go into Devil's Sphere when you entering Lower City. And after doing some rituals on 2nd floor, you can enter into House of Hope. In this House of Hope, you need to go to the top side into Baldur, and while standing in this water, press on Restoration Faucet. This will heal your whole party and also restore your spell slots, and everything that's restored on short rest. It won't replenish your short rests, by the way, but still it acts as long rest. So you can use your party members to upcast some spells that you're not normally upcasting, like Armor of Agathos to level 6 for example, and then use Baldur to restore level 6 spell slot. This buff will stay with you forever, until you lose it by other circumstances. But this trick will only work before you finish House of Hope. So when you're entering Baldur, use this trick and never finish quests in House of Hope, because when you finish, you won't be able to use it no more. Your party members will always try to use perception and other checks together. This means you can do separate checks with all party members. But even if you fail this check, you can just start digging in this area, and you will get this treasure anyway. Just need a shovel. But coolest part, this idea applies to other stuff and other checks too. Sometimes just going into any area and failing checks. Now it's impossible to enter this door with our main character, so if you fail to check with one character, try with others. You will basically get another chance at dialogue sometime. Most of the time you will trade with traitors, but actually when you enter into dialogue with different characters, look at the bottom left. most of the time you will find this trade icon lighted up, and you basically can trade with any character. Most of the time they will have boring stuff, but sometimes pretty useful scrolls and other cool items. You can buy it from them, or just enter into barter mode and give something from you to take something from them. But sometimes you just can't get into the high ground, and you can just stack objects one on another. Use something like these crates, just pull them one by one. To do it, you just need to drag and drop items one on another. You can stack them, climb on them, and get to more higher places. Or just have advantage on attack rolls with ranged weapons and spells. Very useful in a battle because drag and dropping, not using any action or bonus action. A lot of races and classes got dark vision, which gives you ability to see in the darkness and not have disadvantage when you're fighting in the caves and other dark spots. But Warlock is special class. When you get into level 2 as Warlock, you get in Devil Eldritch Invocations and you can have Devil's Sight. This will not only give you ability to see in normal darkness, but also in magical darkness. And no other character can see in magical darkness. Only demons can. This basically makes Warlock one of the most broken classes in the game, because you can create this darkness, and while you stay in the darkness, you will attack enemies normally, with normal hit chances, while enemies can't see anything, and this will basically limit their range. They can't attack into darkness, they need to be close to you, and when they are close, they will have disadvantage and really low hit chances. And while everyone's agree that level 2 spell Knock is really useful, because you can basically unlock any door or object like chest, you don't need any keys, you don't need to pass any checks, you're basically unlocking them for free. A lot of people think that Arcane Lock is basically useless spell. But actually Arcane Lock can be really useful in a lot of situations, especially if you're fighting in houses or other closed areas. You just need to make this house place which is impossible to live in, with different area of effect spells like Cloud Kill for example, Hunger of Hater or other stuff. And now this lady will try to escape this house. But what we can do, we can basically make Arcane Lock on this shabby wooden door. This will make it impossible to unlock this door, and no one can survive when standing in this house. Do it with Wall of Fire and basically burn enemies down. And here we are, tip number 60, last 9 tips left. How to use Sneak. It's actually a little bit frustrating, especially for new players, but that's how it works. You press Shift and you see red areas. That's where enemies basically looking and what they see. And while you can try to sneak right in front of the iris, it won't work in a fight. So first of all, you need to move outside of the vision range. In this area, for example. Now you can press Sneak button. After sneaking, there will be your shadow over here. That's why you need to start sneaking as fast as possible and not finishing the movement before pressing this button. So get outside of enemy vision, press Sneak, and then hide somewhere else. For example, go inside of the house and close the door. Now enemy behavior will be pretty simple. They will go into the last place seen, that's basically last place where you were seen, and investigate this area. If you're not nearby, enemies will lose you, and if you're alone, fight will be over. Simple as that. But if you will try to run away first, and only then press hide, then enemies will go into this area and will look for you over here. Of course, they will find you. And that's one of the ways how you can realize this game. If you're not playing Rogue, but any other character, you can use Potion of Invisibility. Just use it and run away for a safe distance, outside of this shadow clone. Enemies will run into this area, try to look for you, and then cast Detect Presence. If you're not nearby, they won't find you, and battle will be over. So if you got a lot of invisibility potions, you can do it a lot of time and basically get out of the battle and always attack first. Very useful as Gloomstalker Ranger. Salami is a camp supply, but also can be used as weapon. Yeah, you can use Salami as weapon, and just extra bonus tip for Salami if you want to be really Salami Destroyer. You can dip it in fire for additional damage and will do really nice amount of damage with Salami Slap. And one more Salami tip. Those of you who watched my Salami walkthrough know my super secret build, but actually you can use Salami as weapon and you can bond this weapon as Eldritch Knight to your hand. So actually you can make Boomerang Salami, just throw it and it will get back to your hand. Unlimited Salami throws. Halflings and gnomes got really low movement speed, but their weight is really low, so you can throw them for large distances, a lot more than normal humans. For example, that's normal human, and we can throw this human just for this distance. You see, not a lot. But look at the halfling. She can be thrown on enemies at ease. Next tip is for you when you picking your weapons. If you're going for melee build, it doesn't mean you don't need to equip bow. And same goes for melee weapons, because a lot of weapons got different buffs. For example, bow can have something like improved critical, which will reduce numbers that you need to roll for critical hit by 1. And this will affect not only bow but every roll. So no matter you using this bow or your melee weapon, you will have this number reduced. If you see some items that you want to pick up, but it will be stealing and you don't want to steal, you can basically steal any item in the plain sight. All you need to do is to cast Darkness. Now in the Darkness, go into sneak mode, into turn-based mode, pick anything you like and run away, because no one in this game can see in the darkness. Only demons, but there's almost no demons in this game anyway. Tip number 68. There's one more type of hireling that I recommend to you, and it will be Transmutation Wizard, because Transmutation Wizard will get this Transmuter's Stone, which you can cast and create stone. My favorite is Stone of Movement Speed. Basically, you're creating stone and you can transfer the stone into other characters' inventory. Characters that carry this stone will have improved movement speed in a battle. But coolest part, we can travel those 12 meters, which is 3 meters more than I normally could travel, and end our turn. Now our ally can travel only 7 meters, 7.5, but the stone is not bonded to us. If you watched all tips before, you know what we can do. We can use magic pockets to transfer the stone to other party member, and now this party member will have more movement speed. So look, 9 meters, we get in our stone, and now we can travel 12 meters, effectively adding 12 meters to whole party. Tip number 68 is based on stats. A lot of people fear to eat tadpoles. I was in your camp when I first time played the game, but actually it won't affect your endings or a lot of stuff. Just eat tadpoles. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, tip number 69. Subscribe to Spot the King and watch these secret weapons that you probably missed in Baldur's Gate 3. See you in the next videos, guys.